There are people who are trying to separate us by nationality, by race, by ethnic group, and we can't allow that. People are people. In Russia, the Russian people are just gracious, kind, friendly people.
Yes. Right. And when we were in St. Petersburg, it was like taking a step back in time in some aspects.
Why? Why did you feel like that?
Because it was like people were walking. The thing that impressed me was all the young couples walking down the street hand in hand.
And what kind of couples were they, Doc?
Well, they were male and female.
Yes. Male and female. How about that?
So,
all right. But in America, they would be male and male or female and female. But in Russia, they were male and female.
And to see families sitting together in a park. What impressed me about St. Petersburg, how clean and neat it was, and that they took care of things, that they were proud of their city, they were proud of their country, and Christianity was everywhere.
Yes.
I didn't see any communist flags. I didn't see, any marches in the street. There was a big statue of Lenin still there. I don't guess they've taken time to take that down. But but as far as the Christian influence in St. Petersburg, that impressed me greatly. Just walk down.
And the culture, it was, the city, as you said, it was clean, it was safe. We saw no litter, no alcoholics, no drug addicts, no prostitutes, no panhandlers, no beggars. The streets. You went out late at night.
Yes.
You said you wanted to go down to the park and take some pictures, and you went out late by yourself. Did you feel threatened?
No, I went out near midnight, up until about 2 a.m. on the last day we had in Russia. I went there actually to write a note to my wife. That's something we do. I write her a postcard. I was in Moscow Victory Day Park. This is to commemorate their victory over the Nazis in Germany. And I'm sitting there, midnight, just looking around. There are a man, woman, couples, with children riding their bikes through the park. No hooligans. I'm going through dark areas of the park to walk to this section. I never feared getting mugged. I never feared getting attacked. It was peaceful. They have pursued serenity in their public spaces. And it shows the fruit of that is the amount of children. Remember how many children?
Oh, yes.
Remember the airport? How many children we see? They're happy. Yeah, they have joy in their eyes.
Don't believe the propaganda about Russia. The Russian people are good people. They love God. They celebrate their Christianity. Where we were attending the International Economic Forum, it's this this property where you've got hotels. You have, I think, the headquarters.
The huge expo center there.
The expo center, Gazprom headquarters.
Yes.
But at the end of the street was a church.
Part of the whole same complex.
Now, why would they put a church at the end of the street? And the only conclusion is they knew that there would be thousands of people coming to that area to go to conventions, staying in the hotels, and they wanted to provide them a church so as they're away from home, they could go to church. Now, that's the kind of planning that's there in Russia. So you don't see that in business centers here in the United States. You don't hear city planners saying, hey, we got to make sure we have enough churches around here that when the visitors come in, they can go to church.
Right.
We don't have that mentality here. My hotel in St. Petersburg had a Christian painting. It was the cross, and there was an angel standing at the cross. Satan the serpent was at the bottom of the cross. The angel was looking down at the serpent and pointing up to the cross. Wow. Now that's in my hotel room.
You're waking up to that every day?
Every day I had to look at that painting.
And as we would go to the restaurant there on the facility each evening, you'd have to walk down through the hallways, and on the paintings, there were Christian imagery. There was, people that were, it was really just
Last
impressive.
Supper. They had various paintings, murals, murals in the hotel, Christian murals. Okay, what am I telling you? Don't believe the propaganda against the Russian people. We're the body of Christ. We have to rise above it.
Yes.
Many Christians live in Russia. They're our brothers and sisters. We need to be one with them. Maybe their traditions are different. Maybe their method of worship is different. That's okay. They love Jesus Christ, and they're faithful to Jesus Christ. They went through 70 years of tribulation under communism,
right?
And they came out on the other side still worshiping God.
Yes.
They never gave up their faith in Jesus Christ. So that's my observation about the Russians. We went to Tel Aviv. Ben Gurion Airport. I spent very little time in Israel, simply because the conference was over in Bethlehem, and we just didn't have that time. But in Tel Aviv is a modern city. It's progressive, beautiful airport. I saw when our plane from Russia landed in Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv, most of the passengers applauded when they landed in Israel. So I'm assuming that they were Russian Jews who were coming to Israel, maybe for the first time. So I saw the faces of the people in the airport. I saw the Jewish people. They were happy to be in Israel. They were landing, bringing their families to Israel. I get it. I understand. I get that. I understand that. Then we went to Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus Christ. And there the Christians are under persecution by the people over on the Israeli side who are happy to have their land. I'm talking about the Palestinian land.
Yes.
Because you got to understand this, folks. When you talk about the Jews returning to Israel, okay, they have to move there. They're moving in, all right? The people that took over Israel in 1948 were not living there at the time.
Right.
Do you understand that? They were not. These were not Jews who were living there. They moved in and they took the land. They claimed it. They grabbed it. They were given permission by the new United Nations to seize that land. Okay, so for every Jew who came into the new Israel, there was a Palestinian who had to leave.
Yes.
You think about that.
You gave a great example of this, actually, at last night's church service. It'd be as if the United Nations, through their decree, said Texas belonged once more to Mexico, and Texans who'd lived there all their lives would be displaced, forced to move to Missouri, to Florida, to New York, lose their ranches. I mean, no American would stand for that.
That's right, and that's exactly what has happened. What you really hear